I'm Jeremy Shear, and my guest is Jennifer Sabin, VP of Marketing at Showed Me. Jennifer, it is great to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me today.
You're quite welcome. So, start by telling us about a memorable marketing moment from your career.
Yeah, so a memorable marketing moment, well, we actually just had one. So
Oh,
we created a pricing page about a week ago on our website and we added offerings as packages and the call to action was request pricing. So we
hmm
set the page up, we created automations on the back end so if somebody requested pricing, they'd receive an email with a link to our sales team's Calendly account to put a meeting on the calendar. And we hadn't even gotten around to promoting that pricing page at all, but somebody found it and they
mm.
set up a meeting with sales. And within 24 hours, they had a call with sales and the deal was closed.
Whoa.
So it's always really exciting when something kind of goes as planned and everything that you created in the background goes off without a hitch. And
Yeah.
we were just so happy to quickly see those results in a closed deal.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That is truly awesome. Right.
Yeah.
Because usually things don't go without a hitch.
Well,
Right.
sometimes you like to test it, see if it all works
Yeah.
as planned, but we didn't have to because the customer tested it for us.
Before you even knew that what was happening, someone's like, "Yep,
Exactly.
let's do the deal." Well, that is really sweet. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
That's a
thank
win.
you.
Got to celebrate those wins. Okay, so now tell our listeners a little bit about Showed Me.
Yeah, so Showed Me was founded in 2014 by Avi Singer as a peer to peer social learning platform. And in 2016, healthcare organizations approached Showed Me and they asked if they could leverage our easy to use platform for compliance training specifically. So there's plenty of other companies out there that are selling learning management systems and content libraries. But what we sell is the end result, which is compliance and completions. So we sell basically compliance as a service. We simplify the entire process. You give us your employees, we put them into the Showed Me platform, and we will reach out to them via phone, email, text, and ensure that they are 100% compliant.
Okay, really cool. Great story. So, now when we spoke a couple weeks ago in preparation for the interview, you told me that when you first came on, you took a look at the website and it featured an image of a woman with a stethoscope around her neck.
Correct.
And you were like, it's a nice picture and all, but no, we got to swap that out. So, what was the problem there?
Yeah, so the problem, there was actually a couple of problems. So the first problem was it was this woman with a big smile with a stethoscope on. We were in the middle of a pandemic. She probably should have had a mask on her face. So
Okay.
that's number one. Number two is that really with B2B tech companies, a lot of people are going towards vector images and illustrations so that you don't necessarily see a person when you look at an image. You can see yourself in that image. So that
hmm
was another thing that I noticed right off the bat. But the real problem is that, yes, the majority of our customers are in the healthcare industry. So it did initially make sense for our website to feature healthcare on the homepage. But as we grow and expand into other industries, we need to make sure that any prospect who visits our website feels like Showed Me can work for them. So, for instance, if our sales team is reaching out to restaurant owners and they visit our website, they're going to quickly move on if they see a woman with a stethoscope on the cover.
hmm
They're going to think that our our company is dedicated to healthcare. But when we update the website, which we recently did, we really opened the door for our company to expand into new industries.
Okay, great example. I think that's a great example of as a company grows, your audience expands, right, and becomes more
Correct.
diversified, and so all of the imagery and messaging and sort of the brand needs to grow and evolve along with it, right? So now you guys have not an audience but multiple audiences, and so how do you calibrate messaging and content for these different audiences? Like, how do you? What's your strategy for managing all that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've created a lot of new web pages on our site. And before it was kind of like one of those sites where you keep scrolling down and you get a lot of information, but it's all one page. So I've decided that it's probably best to have separate pages for separate topics and industries that we cover and features of our platform. So we've created a lot of new web pages on our site. And we want to make sure to produce content for each of those industries to help drive traffic to each of those industry pages. So we create blogs. We've done webinars on specific topics. We have e-blasts, and of course, they're segmented by industry, and the content is specific to those audiences. And we're just really trying to figure out the best way to get the right content, of course, to the right audience at the right time.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Now, when since you've started developing this different kind of content, right? Presumably, at first, it was more healthcare oriented, and it was
Correct.
oriented at people like nurses and doctors and so on. And now you're creating content for all kinds of different people. Has that meant having to build out the marketing team in a different way, adding different people in different roles?
Yeah, so I was actually the company, as I said, was founded in 2014. I was the first marketing hire in January of 2022. So this company has been a very successful company as a sales-led company, but it was time to get marketing on board and really come up with a marketing strategy, a messaging platform, a brand image. And so I was hired to build the team and build the marketing foundation. So I did hire a marketing specialist right away. We've utilized external agencies to help with content creation because we are writing a lot more than just one person could write themselves.
Yeah.
We are using an external web development company that I've worked with before. So we are utilizing agencies, and I am building a team at the same time. We also have a graphic designer that we recently hired who's wonderful. And it's been really fun to build and grow the marketing team with our company.
Okay, very cool. Now, I think another challenge that comes along with that kind of growth, and especially when you're not only building your internal team, but also reaching out to outside vendors, is yeah, you can generate more content, but how do you keep it all on brand? You know,
Yeah.
how do you make it so that no matter who it's going to, it's still, oh, that's a showed me piece, right?
Yeah,
That
there's some
represents
tricks
showed
to
me.
that.
Yeah. So, well, tell us about the tricks.
Yeah, so the first thing I did was I made sure that we created a brand standards guideline document,
Hmm.
and we send that out to any external vendor that we work with and any agency that we partner with to make sure that anything that's written that comes with our, showed me logo stamped on it is consistent to our internal messaging, and no matter the industry, our look and feel is going to be the same. So we're using the same colors, the same tone of voice, and we have, like I said, an in house graphic designer who does all the graphics. So that's why they're all consistent throughout the site and all of our collateral. And then we have a team of writers, but we have one central editor on my team to make sure that the tone is consistent. So everything has to go through one person to make sure that, yes, it sounds like a showed me piece of content.
Okay, that sounds really smart, right? So it's a combination of outside vendors and the inside team, and they work closely together.
Yes.
And okay, and everything, as you said, has to kind of pass through both the editor for the written stuff and your designer for the visual stuff. And I assume nothing goes out or gets published unless they've seen it and approved, and it's
Yeah,
on
and
brand
typically
and
I
ready to
see it
go.
too because we're a small
Uh-huh.
team, so we work very closely even though we're
Yeah.
remote. We have Slack, we use Jira, we use a lot of tools that we're always in sync with one another. So that's another key point is just how important it is to work together.
Yeah, right, especially when teams are remote, right?
Yes.
Another challenge that so many of us these days are dealing with. It's pretty
Yes.
cool too. It just opens
It
up so
is.
many
It is. It opens
possibilities.
up your applicant pool, which is always great to find the best
Right.
talent you can find.
Right, 100%. So, what's your advice for marketing teams that are in a similar position, that their company's growing and they used to just have like kind of one core audience, but now it's expanding? Where do you begin in terms of diversifying your messaging and targeting it at these different audiences?
Yeah. So what we do is, I think the key is to stay organized. So, like I said, we use a project management tool, Jira, which some might think is really powerful and should be used for engineers. But the good news is, anytime you work at a SaaS company or a B2B company, there are a ton of engineers. So you typically have Jira
Mhm.
already. So I've managed my past, couple of marketing teams through Jira, and it's allowed us to really collaborate to know exactly what needs to be accomplished in a 2 week sprint. So within that 2 week time period, the whole team comes together and we know that we are going to create 2 blogs on each topic and each audience. We're going to create newsletters that are going to go out to these different segments on these different days. And it really just keeps everything organized to use a project management tool so that no audience is forgotten about. We also have a content calendar and a social media calendar, and all these calendars have to kind of work closely together so that when you're publishing a blog, you know that that specific blog is on a certain topic that's going to go out in, on LinkedIn, but it's also going to go out in an e-blast. You got to make sure the right segment's receiving the right article. So it takes a lot of organizational skills and a team that can really work well together.
Got to be organized.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. Got to be organized, right?
Yes.
100%. By the way, Jira, how do you spell Jira?
Jira. It's amazing.
Okay, cool. I don't know that one. I'm going to check
Yeah,
it
you
out.
should check it out. It's really neat.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Well, amazing. Thank you for sharing all that. Sounds like you
Yeah.
guys are just killing it
Thank
and
you.
have a lot of great stuff going on this year and beyond. So, thank you so much for a great conversation and for your time. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy.